Hello, my name is Michael Dorfman, and I'm speaking to you from my home in San Miguel de Allende in central Mexico. I'm taking this opportunity to tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing, which is to tell people about the extraordinary benefits of whole plant based foods and healthy lifestyle practices. These benefits include the natural prevention and reversal of chronic diseases and premature death. So, after 15 years of research and experiences with whole plant based foods, why am I so passionate and so committed to sharing my message with you? Well, this takes me to the story of Beatrice. Beatrice is a friend of mine, and in 2012, she had suffered a major heart attack. After going through quadruple bypass surgery and actually suffering a heart attack on the operating table, she was sent home. She did well for a few months, but a year later, she had pain in her arm and was called back to the hospital to receive a stent. Why a stent? Because her vein was clogged. That's why you get a stent. The cause of the clogging was never addressed. So, unfortunately, the vein that replaced her artery was very narrow and the stent wouldn't fit. The doctors tried and tried, but they couldn't get it in. And they finally told her that there was nothing they could do, and they sent her home, advising her to refrain from physical activity, especially exercise and climbing stairs. Ironically, her bedroom was on the second floor, so that proved to be an issue for her. What they didn't tell her, and this is really important, what they told my wife and her son was that she had 6 months to live. So at that time, I had been already plant based for about a couple of years, and I was reading several books on how doctors were having amazing results reversing heart disease with plant based nutrition. So, knowing Beatrice's situation, I decided to give her a book which I thought was the best one I could find on the subject. It's Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease by Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. So Dr. Esselstyn was a cardiologist and a surgeon at the Cleveland Clinic, and which is considered probably the number one heart clinic in the country and maybe even the world. So he was receiving rejected patients who had really major problems with heart disease, and he had a 95% cure rate just with diet. Some patients were so sick that they couldn't even walk from one side of the room to the other. So I gave Beatrice the book and I told her, well, read it and see if you're interested. She read the book and she took on the challenge. The result, instead of 6 months to live, Beatrice lived 8 years. And during those 8 years, she actually thrived. How do I know she thrived? Because she was a pretty accomplished artist and she was having some of her best work during that time. So it ended up that Beatrice did pass away a couple of years ago, but it wasn't from a heart problem. For me, that had tremendous impact, that whole situation and the results of that situation. I had read stories about, doctors and health experts, doing this reversal through diet. And here I'm not a doctor. And yet I had an opportunity to personally help a friend of mine. So the end result was, I had two questions, important questions that I needed to be answered. One, why was nutrition not considered a priority by doctors for preventing and reversing heart disease? Why do they almost always choose bypass surgery and stents? That was my first question. The second question was, if whole plant-based foods could reverse heart disease, could it also reverse other chronic diseases? These questions ignited a spark in me. I needed to find the answers, which during these years, I did find the answers to. And I want to share them with as many people as I can. So, if you're interested in a common sense approach to preventing and reversing chronic disease, strengthening your immune system, and learning about your body's self healing powers, I invite you to check out my channel, The Nutrition, Lifestyle, and COVID Connection on Unite.live. I want to thank you for listening, and Godspeed and the best of health.